The sun barely touched the horizon, painting the sky in soft golds and pinks as the world slowly woke around me. A thick silvery mist hugged the river, swirling gently above the water's surface, muffling every sound and making the world feel distant and secretive. I sat on the muddy bank, boots sinking slightly into the soft earth, my rod propped up and steady, the line vanishing into the dark, mysterious water below. Beside me, Jack mirrored my setup. Same rods, same reels, even the same wriggling worms on our hooks. We could have been twins in our approach, each hoping for the same morning miracle, yet only his rod danced with life, the tip bouncing and bending as if the river itself favored him. Every few minutes, Jack's line would twitch, and he'd reel in another fat perch, the fish flashing silver in the morning light, while my side of the river felt empty and still. It wasn't luck, it was a pattern, a rhythm to his success that I couldn't ignore. For over an hour, Jack's pile of fish grew steadily, each catch adding to his bounty, while my net stayed stubbornly empty, hope slowly draining away with every passing minute. I watched him closely. Same bait, same cast, same retrieve. I mimicked every move, trying to unlock his secret. No fancy gear, no hidden gadgets, no tricks I could see. Everything about our setups was identical, down to the last detail. The difference was invisible, but the results were obvious. His hands always full, mine always empty. The fish were there, I could see them in the water, but they ignored my offering. Frustration crept in, cold and sharp, as I questioned everything I knew. Every angler knows this silent battle with the river, the feeling of being tested, of matching wits with something unseen beneath the surface. Was it my shadow falling across the water, the sound of my boots on the bank? I ran through every possible reason, replaying every moment, but nothing explained it. Jack remained calm, a quiet confidence in his movements, occasionally glancing my way as he landed yet another fish, as if he knew something I didn't. The gap between us was too wide to be chance. It felt like the river itself had chosen sides. The fish were making a choice, and I was losing. My bait drifted by, ignored, while Jack's was irresistible. I needed to know why. The answer was out there, hidden in the mist and the current, just beyond my reach. The river held a secret, and Jack clearly knew it. I could feel it in the air, a riddle waiting to be solved. I was determined to find out, no matter how long it took. The riverbank riddle had become my own. The river was quiet, the kind of silence that makes you feel like you're the only person in the world. I sat there, lost in thought, watching the gentle ripples on the water. The only sounds were the distant calls of birds and the soft lapping of the current against the rocks. Finally, I broke the silence. "All right, Jack, what's your secret?" I asked, unable to hide my curiosity any longer. We'd been fishing together for hours, but Jack always seemed to have the upper hand. Jack just grinned, a knowing twinkle in his eye. He reached into his tackle box and pulled out a tiny glass vial, no bigger than his thumb. With a steady hand, he let a single drop of golden garlic oil fall onto his bait, the scent immediately wafting through the air. "This is it," he said, holding up the vial like it was a magic potion. "One drop. That's all you need." I couldn't help but be skeptical. Miracle baits and secret formulas are everywhere in fishing, and most of them are just stories. But Jack wasn't trying to sell me anything. He was just sharing a tip between friends. He handed me the vial, the glass cool in my palm, and we decided to put his claim to the test. We set up a real experiment right there on the riverbank. We used the same worms, the same hooks, and cast our lines into the same stretch of water. The only difference was the garlic oil on Jack's bait. For the next hour, we fished side by side. I stuck to my usual routine, while Jack used his one-drop method. The results were almost immediate and impossible to ignore. While I managed just one missed bite, Jack reeled in 4 perch and a bream, each catch more impressive than the last. The pattern was undeniable, and I couldn't argue with what I was seeing. Underwater, the fish seemed to be drawn to the garlic-scented bait like moths to a flame. It was as if the oil sent out an irresistible invitation. The water came alive with activity. It was like ringing a dinner bell underwater, and the fish responded instantly. The experiment was simple, but the results were crystal clear. Sometimes, the simplest ideas are the most effective. That single drop of oil made all the difference in the world. It turned an ordinary bait into something extraordinary. I couldn't ignore the evidence any longer. My skepticism faded, replaced by excitement and a bit of awe. I decided to try the garlic oil myself, carefully applying a drop to my own bait, just as Jack had shown me. Almost instantly, my line twitched. The river's silence was broken by the sudden, thrilling pull of a fish. The secret was real, and I was hooked. Sometimes the smallest change can unlock the biggest results. That tiny bottle of oil had changed everything I thought I knew about fishing. I'd finally found the answer to the riverbank riddle. With a single drop, the mystery was solved. I felt a new sense of excitement for every future trip to the river. Fishing would never be the same. Sometimes, all it takes is one drop to change everything. Jack saw my curiosity and smiled. "It's not my invention," he said, packing up. "I learned it from an old book, Blue Treasure." The book, written by Southern anglers in the 70s, was full of forgotten wisdom. It taught how to read water, predict fish by the moon, and use natural sense. Blue Treasure wasn't about fancy gear, but about understanding the river. The garlic oil recipe was just one of its secrets. These were methods born from necessity, passed down through generations. The book is rare now, but its lessons live on in anglers like Jack. It's a reminder. Sometimes the best answers are simple, natural, and shared by word of mouth. Fishing is about connection to the water, the past, and each other. Scented bait is a cherished Southern tradition, especially along the winding Mississippi River, where fishing is a way of life. In these muddy waters, fish rely on their sense of smell far more than their sight to find food. Early fishermen crafted potent stink base from whatever they had on hand. Fermented grains, cheese, and even animal parts. Garlic was a favorite ingredient, cheap, pungent, long-lasting, and easy to find in local markets. It masked human scent and attracted fish from afar, drawing them in through the murky depth. These recipes were closely guarded family secrets, each with its own unique twist and story. The goal was always the same: create a powerful scent trail that led fish straight to the waiting hook. This approach stands in contrast to the sight-based fishing methods favored up north in clearer waters. In the south, sense is king, primal call that hungry fish simply can't resist. The lesson is clear: adapt your methods to your water, and never underestimate the true power of scent. Why does garlic work so well? It's all about fish biology. Fish have an extraordinary sense of smell, far beyond ours. Their nostrils, nares, detect tiny chemical traces in water. Garlic contains a lichen, a powerful sulfur compound. When infused in oil, it creates a strong, lingering scent trail. Oil doesn't wash away quickly, so the aroma lasts. Fish follow this trail, drawn by the promise of food. The scent triggers instinctive feeding responses, even in cautious fish. It's not about mimicking a specific food, but about sparking curiosity. The science backs up what old-timers knew. To catch a fish, appeal to its nose. A single drop can make your bait irresistible. Sometimes, the simplest science is the most effective. The nose knows. After seeing the results, I had to learn the recipe. Jack shared it gladly. Simple, cheap, and effective. All you need: 1 cup of neutral oil and 4 or 5 fresh garlic cloves. Crush the garlic thoroughly and place it in a glass jar. Pour in the oil, seal, and shake well. Store in a cool, dark place for at least a week. 2 is better. Shake daily to help the infusion. Afterward, strain out the garlic or leave it in for extra strength. Transfer some oil to a dropper bottle for easy use. 1 drop on your bait is all it takes. No fancy equipment, just old-school know-how. This recipe is a direct link to generations of anglers. Sometimes, the best tools are homemade. That morning with Jack changed my outlook on fishing, and maybe even on life itself. Sharing those quiet moments by the river, I realized that sometimes the best lessons come from the simplest experiences. In a world overflowing with high-tech gear and endless gadgets, it was a single drop of garlic oil that made all the difference. It's funny how something so small can tip the scales between a day of frustration and a day of success. It's a lesson in curiosity and simplicity. A reminder that sometimes less truly is more. The river rewards those who pay attention, who are willing to try something new, even if it seems old-fashioned. Ask yourself, what do the fish in your river really want? It's not always about the flashiest lure or the latest trend. The fanciest lure, no matter how expensive or shiny, is useless if it doesn't appeal to their instincts. Fish are creatures of habit and subtlety. With garlic oil, less is more. One drop is enough to spark their curiosity. It's about enhancing, not overwhelming. Too much can actually scare the fish away, turning a promising spot into a quiet one. Balance is everything. The art is in subtlety, in sparking curiosity, not alarm. A gentle cast, a quiet approach. These are the secrets to drawing fish in. Think like the old-timers. Observe, experiment, adapt. They knew that every day on the river is a chance to learn something new, to refine your approach. The river's secrets aren't for sale. They're waiting to be discovered by those who are patient and attentive. Every cast is a new puzzle, a fresh opportunity to test your skills and intuition. What will you try next time? Will you stick with what you know, or will you experiment and see what happens? Sometimes, the answer is as simple as a drop of oil, a small change that can make all the difference. The river is always ready to teach, if you're willing to listen, to observe, and to keep casting no matter what.